So after reading Norman Maclean's book, River Runs Through It, I have to rewatch this movie by Robert Redford. This is a 1992 film by Robert Redford. And when this one came out, circa 1992, I seen this movie, rewatching it. It's like enjoyment was tremendous because I read the book and I was kind of familiar with the story of that particular book, and especially the book is a little bit more like a kind of a dry, even though it depicts all the relationship and everything, but the focus is not the relationship, human relationship, but you know, the fly fishing technique and fly fishing culture, fly fishing hobby, and that's the focus there. But movie is kind of different because under Redford's directions, it became like a human life story, especially between those two sons, Norman and Paul. So I really enjoyed the every minute of movies because I understood what's going on there. And I think I remember when I saw the film for the first time, it's circa 1992, I didn't, you know, it didn't occur to me that particular relationship. For example, this Norm's girlfriend's brother visiting from California is a bastard guy, and he, you know, when I saw it, I kind of wondered who this guy is, and so forth. So it didn't dawn on me that was his brother. But reading book and watching this movie again, yeah, I really appreciated that particular understanding of me, understanding it. In cinematography is beautiful, and the relationship is beautiful, and oh, I don't know, this impactful life of this Norm. Norm is an older brother, and he went to, I think, Dartmouth, the East Coast Ivy League college, and he eventually he got a job. During the course of the film, he got this acceptance letter from the University of Chicago as a professor of English literature and author. So he was kind of pleased to get that news to the family. And at that time, what I didn't know is that he was still unmarried, and I think when he went to Chicago, I think he took this girlfriend, Jessie, with him. Paul, played by Brad Pitt, is, I thought of, he is wonderful. He's young, of course, in 1992, which is, you know, 30-some years ago. This particular fly fishing scene, mesmerizingly beautiful. And this scene of Noel fishing with Paul and their father, several scenes, I think they go together to the stream to do a fly fishing. And that particular scenes are more than enough to, reward for watching this movie. It's beautiful and healing effect of watching this film, which is very, very nice. So, I bought the DVD, and I'm gonna rewatch again sometime later, maybe 10 years later or whatever. That's one of the nicest thing about owning this physical media. So yeah, I recommend you own this particular DVD to, commemorate this particular talent of Robert Redford. I think what I understand is like Redford visited Norm's son, I think, when he was making it. I think he kind of talked with them and decided to make this one is a little bit different from the book because it's focused on the human relationship, father-son's relationship, and the girlfriends and the girlfriend's brother. Mainly focuses on father and son relationship. So yeah, you can see him preaching at the church and talk about the love, loss, all these things, and you feel like yeah, you kind of choke up when you see this film because the father is describing Paul as he was a beautiful person. Yeah, and so, and he was, I often say, when he fished the trout, the big trout and so forth, and he said, well, it was more than anything, it was beautiful catch, beautiful fish. And so that's the same thing as a father describing Paul. Anyway, I kind of recommend you guys, if you haven't watched this particular film, you have to watch. And I think unfortunately streaming, I think there is no free streaming sites that have that particular movie. You have to pay, I think. So DVD is one way to see this film, and it's worth owning that particular DVD, I would say. Yeah, so yeah, I kind of felt like I have a tremendous things to say after watching this film. Yeah, this is very, very enjoyable and deep, and also entertaining, healing, and also joy of being in that kind of a situation, fly fishing. And this Norm's life is kind of interesting. Norm's life is he became a writer when he's 70 years old. He was the college professor of English literature, so he always have this passion for literature. And I think one scene in this film, Walt Whitman reciting father and Norm reciting each other those passages, and that's kind of a very almost like a moving scene there. Yeah, that particular part is interesting, but nonetheless I think the Paul is very bright, very, very charismatic person. He was a news reporter, and everybody seems to love him. as a news reporter, colleague and everybody. So he is a charismatic person, very popular among the colleague. Those two sons, loving relationship, but each one has a different, totally different demeanors. Norm is more quiet and more, I think, studying person in literature, love literature. Paul is also, I think, loves those things, but I think his life took to the more active fly fishing and more physical pleasure. I think if you want to read book, I really strongly recommend first you read book and you kind of know what's going on there, then watch this film. I think that's more or less like a 200% or 300% more enjoyable there. Yeah, so that's what my recommendation.